Hi, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Darren Hardy, publisher of Success Magazine and CEO to many of today's high-performing CEOs, one of which I have with me here today, which is why we are doing this great interview. With me is CEO Stephen Woessner. He has been studying and practicing digital marketing since really the advent of the internet. Not to say anything about his age, but to say more about his experience and wisdom. He's also, his great work has been published in academic journals. He's written 2 books on the subject as well. And I first met Stephen when he was selected to be one of my High Performance Forum CEOs, where we took him through a 3-day intensive. And I am told and proud to say, based on what it is that he learned, he's going to produce an additional $5 million in revenue over the next 12 months. So we are here in the Learning Theater of the Estancia Hotel, Resort and Spa in beautiful La Jolla, California. We're on the eve of one of my high performance summits where we're going to have 125 ambitious achievers that are coming in from all over the United States and in parts of the world for a full day experience of how to achieve extreme levels of personal productivity. So we're excited about tomorrow. But right now, I'm excited about this opportunity to dig out of this man the great insights and wisdom he's collected in the areas of digital marketing. He's going to talk to us about the 8 money-draining mistakes most people make in their online marketing and web presence. And then I'm going to ask them to talk about the 7 money-making opportunities that all of us can exercise if we get this great wisdom from Stephen. So that's my job, is to try to unearth the best of what he's got and pass it over to you. So thank you for joining me. And Stephen, thank you for joining me as well.
Thanks for the invitation.
Appreciate you sitting down and doing this, and
of
so
course,
that we can give this out to our great success audience and beyond. So let me go with the questions that I have prepared for this interview. First of all, let's start with definitions. Give us the definition of the 8 money-draining mistakes that most online marketers or most online marketing plans and schemas make.
Sure. Well, so as you mentioned in the introduction, I've really been doing this since the advent of the commercial internet, which is really 20 plus years. And during that time, I've collected tens of thousands of data points. So that's given me the ability to identify those 8 money drainers, and those are the things that literally cause a website to leak serious money every day. I mean, just tons of money just falling right out, cash being sucked right out of the business.
Okay, so money that they should have collected, that is just, there's a hole in the boat and it's just pouring out.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's define for us then the money-making opportunities.
So those are the things that really accelerate profits and drive profits online by 200 to 500% or more in 12 months or less. I mean, that's typically the result that we see in that time period.
Okay, so we've got a baseline framework for what we're going to talk about. All right, so let's talk about what are some of the biggest. Like, let's start with the big rocks on the mistakes that people make in their digital marketing or their online web presence. What's the biggest that you see?
Okay, so the most expensive one, in my opinion, is bounce rate. And so for those who are tuning in and watching and not really familiar with what bounce rate is, so bounce rate is when somebody comes to, let's say, a home page or any page within your website, and for whatever reason, they look at it, the message, they search for it, they found it, but they just puke in a bucket, they didn't like it, for whatever reason, right? And so then they immediately leave, so their term is bounce. And typically, the unoptimized website, about 50 to 60% is what the average bounce rate is. And so to say that another way, between 50 and 60% of all the visitors that we spend all that time to try and recruit to the site through SEO and PPC and social media and all the different types of ways we're pulling traffic in, 50 to 60% are leaving immediately before they make one single click. So it becomes very, very expensive. We never have the opportunity to convert those people.
So, first of all, it reminds me of like being an 18-year-old and you're passing through, you know, a crowd of girls that you're trying to attract, and the ones that don't take notice of you are just bouncing, right? That would be the equivalent, right? You've paid all this time, energy, and money to go to this party, and then there's just this incredible bounce rate where they're not interested, or to your term, puking in a bucket, let's say. So what causes this? What causes the bounce rate, first of all, and I guess the answer could be in what's the quick fix for it?
All right, so the optimal bounce rate should be about 30%. So, you know, between 60 and 30, I mean, that's really what we're looking for. And there are 3 simple ways that any business owner, entrepreneur can fix bounce rate. The first one is actually something I learned from you during the High Performance Forum. And I liked it so much, we immediately put it into the process. And that's the XYZ exercise that you beat us up on. And it's a really good one. So we answered those 3 questions for our clients, and that's, we do X, and X being the product or service, for Y, and Y being the customer profile, so they can Z, and Z being the result outcome. Now it seems really simple. It's like any business owner should be able to say, we do X for Y so they can Z. But I tell you, if you go to most business websites or entrepreneurs, you do not see the XYZ clearly mapped out. And here's the statistic. When a business owner defines XYZ, they answer those 3 powerful questions, fundamental questions to their business. Bounce rate goes down by 10% or more in 2 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just by doing that.
You go to most websites and it's just like, here's me, here's what we do, here's me, here's me, here's me. And it's not, here's what we do, for whom, and here's the result outcome that we drive very quickly, very simply. Okay, so that's one right off the top. I'm sure everybody, if they just stopped the interview right now, went to their website, looked at it, made that change, would have a dramatic impact to their result and reducing their bounce rate. I mean, they're spending all this time and money, they're plotting and scheming to get people to their website, and then they're just bounce. It's futile. I mean, it's egregious, really. So what's another one? Give us another big money drainer that you see out there most often.
Well, there's 2 more pieces to bounce rate. Okay, so once they've done the XYZ, the 2 other pieces are eliminating visual clutter. Okay. In fact, the Harvard Business Review just did a great study, or published a study in the March issue, and they talked about how more choice actually leads to no action. And so, we take and study the home pages or content pages. We find that when there are 15 options, people take no action at all. And so instead of having 15, graphics and photos and copy blocks and banners and flashing things and those types of things, have 3 instead of 15. And so when you eliminate visual clutter and then back that up with clear calls to action, again, bounce rate goes down, and we've seen that happen. We would do those 3 things, XYZ, eliminate clutter, clear calls to action, bounce rate goes down by about 20% or more in just 2 days.
So was that the third, the clear call to action?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so clear message, remove everything else, tell them what to do.
And it sounds so fundamental, doesn't it?
Right, but if now I want everybody to go and reevaluate their website, their brochure, their email, their promotion, and go use that formula and then realize how so easy it is, but how little it is being executed.
Right.
Okay, so that's bounce rate was number 1. So then what's another big money mistake?
Okay, again, something else I learned from you during HPF. So, everybody who's watching is thinking, well, geez, what did you maybe just mimic HPF and put it into your process? And actually, your thumbprints are all over the money drainers and the money makers, and because HPF was really great. So the next one is client avatar, not knowing your customer. And it is so, again, because in the example you just gave a couple minutes ago about me, well, that's not what people want when they come. I mean, they're looking for, how does this person understand me and what my motivations are, and what are the pains that I'm feeling, and what are the emotional fears and challenges and so forth that I'm dealing with. And like you like to say, you need to be able to lay in the bed at night of your customer to really understand what's plaguing them. Okay, so predictive, we call her Sally. And then, her male counterpart is Harry, just because I like that movie. But, and so, Sally, whenever we put something out, to prospective customers, I mean, we're speaking right to Sally, and I know that you do that at Success. And so Sally is, she's ambitious, she reads lots of books, but she doesn't know a good idea from a bad idea. She's been burned before, she's afraid, she doesn't know who to trust. And she literally has looked at me and said, Stephen, I want to be able to trust you, that you can do what you say that you can do, and that you're going to deliver on those promises, and you're going to do that quickly. And so when we can connect with Sally, it becomes less about the digital marketing stuff that we do, and more about trust. And because really we're in the trust business. And so when we can connect on that emotional level, it's great. And so I encourage that anybody who's watching here, the business owner at home, is going to look at that, go and evaluate all their content pages, and are they speaking, are they just vomiting on a page, or are they really trying to connect with Sally or Harry on the emotional level?
And speaking to their feelings, their worries, their anxieties, their hopes, their aspirations, and letting them know through your communication that you understand, their frustrations, their pain, and that you can help solve their problems empathetically through that kind of communication. Okay, great.
Exactly.
So those are two really big ones now. I don't know that you've prepared a third one, but these are so good that I want to get a third one from you if we've got one. So do you have another? What is the third biggest money drainer that you see out there for websites or digital strategies?
Okay, SEO done poorly. So what I mean by that is, we're in the business of collecting or selecting what we call predictive keywords. Kind of like Gordon Gekko, Michael Douglas's character in Wall Street, did a really great job. One of his famous lines is, I bet on sure things. And so we do the same thing in the keyword business. We're looking for proven performers. We call those predictive keywords. The keywords that are not only going to lead to traffic, because we know that they're used every single day, but also they're going to lead to conversions because they're related to the business and relevant to the business. Like you could go out tomorrow and develop a #1 ranking for purple feather boas. But you're not in the purple feather boa business, so it doesn't really matter.
And I'm not in the purple feather boas too,
well,
just in case you're wondering.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Saturday nights when you're wearing those heels.
Yeah.
But often business owners make that mistake. So I use that as kind of a crazy example, but they're all excited about getting a #1 ranking in Google for a keyword that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right, so a real quick, easy tool that they can use is they can go to SEObook.com. It's a free resource. It's owned by Aaron Wall. I have absolutely no financial affiliation with Aaron, but he's a good friend, and his glossary is in the back of my book. Great stuff, free tool. Use a keyword suggestion tool. It'll tell you the number of times every single day that keyword is searched on in Google. Now, that might in and of itself not be novel, but once you know that that keyword is used every day, then you go into Google, do an exact match search, meaning in quotes for that same keyword, and as long as there are 1 million or less competing pages, now you know it's not very competitive, even though 1 million sounds like a lot. And so now you know that the keyword's used every single day, it's relevant to the business, and it's not very competitive. Now design a content page around that keyword.
So now you just gave a lot of technical information that is extremely valuable that I think if somebody's listening might have just gone, Can you produce a document that has those specific instructions on it that maybe we can give away as part of this? Because I do think that seeing that and kind of following the steps would be very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, hey, thank you very much for imparting your great wisdom, giving
Welcome.
it away so that everybody else could enjoy this. And for those that are watching, I hope that one day you get a chance to sit in one of these chairs, go through one of our high performance summits, which is a full day event, or as Stephen and so many other high performing CEOs have done, go through one of our high performance forums, which is 3 days, also here in the beautiful La Jolla, California. So with that, once again, I'm Darren Hardy, publisher of Success Magazine, and we'll be talking to you in some other platform for some other reason, for some other way that we're trying to help you grow and empower your future. So bye-bye for now.